part 4 of how media and film composers get paid. So there's 2 ways you can be promised back end. There are something called like box office bumps, which are based off of gross box office ticket sales. And then there's back end points on a project, something like you might give a producer. Gross box office is pretty easy to track. So sometimes in contracts, you can set up a thing where it's like, hey, if we reach $1 million, you make an extra, I don't know, $1,000. I'm just making up numbers, but that's a really easily readable metric. A lot of larger film composers that get those kind of bumps for like big Hollywood movies. The other back end, which is based on points, I've had a couple movies that offered me deals like this. I took the deals on just to help them out, and honestly, I've never seen a penny in that. I don't think it's necessarily the filmmakers. It's just there's this whole waterfall of people that have to get paid out, and it takes a long time for movies to make their money back. So, investors first, then producers, then talent, then all this kind of stuff. And depending on where you are in that waterfall, depends on where you get paid out. The earlier you are, the more likely you get paid out. Additionally, you probably would need to do an audit to make sure you know how much money the movie sold for, so you know how much money you're owed. And realistically, it's just not something we have the ability to do as film composers. We just don't have the resources to do that. Structuring a deal so that you know how much you need to get paid off the gross, like if it's upon sale or something, may work, but just being fully transparent, I've never been able to make that system work. So I always assume if I'm taking a deal like that, I'm doing it to help somebody out, and maybe I make the back end, maybe I don't, but just I normally don't expect it. That's pretty much how we get paid as composers. I'm happy to go in depth on anything that anyone wants to talk about if I can. Just hit me up in the comments. Get back to writing.